Welcome to the Key to All of This with Tim and Dylan. That's Tim
Hi.
Wenger on this side. I always forget. Tim's on my side, and I'm Dylan. Last time we spoke about someone who we think is going to be bridging the gap between 6 and 7. But this week, this episode, now we're talking about a little teaser that we got, the new Obi Wan series, which I think is going to bridge the gap between 3 and 4. So much more. What's up, Tim?
Not too much. Just really jazzed about this preview that happened at the Disney Plus on Disney Plus Day, showing the
Mm-hmm.
concept art for the upcoming Obi Wan series.
Yeah. We got a little sizzle, like 5 minutes. Got some good concept art in there. We even got Ewan McGregor
Mm-hmm.
excited about working with Hayden again, which is great.
We saw Hayden Christensen wearing what appeared to have been an oxygen mask,
Hmm.
and most importantly, we've seen and got confirmation of something that we talked about when we were discussing the upcoming Obi-Wan series in another episode, that the Inquisitors are going to make a return. Because
Yep.
in the concept art, we see stormtroopers, and we definitely see um, an Inquisitor.
The Inquisitorship. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Inquisitor with their lightsaber too. Um,
Hmm.
and so I'm really excited about that. I think that's huge news. We see the ship land what appears to be Tatooine. So
Yep.
I think we're pretty much guaranteed to have some sort of, standoff there between the Inquisitor and um, and Obi-Wan.
Yeah. It's going to be a series of basically Obi-Wan being the best babysitter,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a better babysitter than Mando.
Maybe. I mean, he has to take care of like look after a teenage kid without the kid really
Hmm.
knowing that he's there. Um,
Yeah. Well, a 10-year-old kid, too.
yeah,
Even worse.
yeah, I know. It's I would take a Grogu over a 10-year-old whiny space farmer than in a heartbeat.
Hmm. Yeah, Grogu never says, "I'm just going down to the Tashi station."
Pick up some power converters. No, Grogu
Yeah,
is just like, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat literally
blue
this
cookies.
bug.
Yeah,
Blue cookies.
bugs, eggs, and macaroons.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't been there with a 2 a.m. hankering for someone's child
Yeah,
in egg form? Just a giant
yep.
frog
Late at
child.
night, I grab a spider. I'll eat that. I'll grab the egg, and then finish it off with a nice little blue
Yeah, I mean,
cookie.
I'm on that Grogu diet, and then so far, um, I've gained about 50 pounds. So it really
Hmm.
hasn't really worked out for me. Um, the other instance I wanted to talk to you about is the concept art of the upcoming duel part two on Mustafar.
Yeah, yeah. Let's dive into this because I think one of the best fight scenes in all of Star Wars is obviously Obi-Wan and Anakin, and I can watch that over and over and over. And I was thinking of this when I was writing all my notes of, yes, we're going to get that again. That's going to be cool. But there's going to be so much more meaning behind this because now it's not Obi-Wan trying to stop Anakin from going to the dark side, but
Mm-hmm.
he's fighting for a 10-year-old,
Yes,
like a, potential future of all of the Jedi.
and also the now the new chosen one. They're putting
Hmm.
kind of all their faith into Luke Skywalker, and even before training. Um,
Hmm.
what I love about this too is that there's so much newer meaning to Vader's quote. When last we saw each other, I was but the learner. Now I am the master of evil. So it kind of hints
Hmm.
that, like, okay, he's not as good this round. Maybe on Mustafar we see kind of him struggling to embrace the dark side. I don't know, but I'm really excited to
Hmm.
see this round two fight. I'm also
Yeah.
really excited to see Palpatine again because, like, it's happening.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we're going to see him. I wonder if they're going to try to transform him from Revenge of the Sith to original Star Wars, where it was like a guy covered in Play-Doh, or if it's like, or how like that transition is going to be, like how much he's switched in these 10 years of within his appearance.
Yeah, I
But yeah, it'll be good to have him back too.
yeah, I wonder how much they dial down the like rampant wrinkles on
Hmm.
old man Palpy's face.
Hmm.
One of the things I thought was really cool is the behind the scenes like brief snippet in that clip of Anakin at Hayden Christensen uh, preparing to fight. And what I brought it up before, the face mask. I don't think it's COVID
Hmm.
related. I think my guess is that we're going to see a potential fight between Anakin and Obi Wan, where he's not wearing
Hmm.
the full armor, that literally his face is
Just the
exposed.
harmonica.
Yeah, and he's
Hmm.
gonna just do this 12-minute solo of Piano Man,
Hmm.
and it's gonna be haunting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be dedicated to Padme, and
Hmm.
Padme's ghost comes back and is gonna be really sad about the song because it's not as good. You know,
Hmm.
he does not have good lung capacity.
If they do fight with the mask off, which I'm expecting as well, because why bring Hayden Christensen in if you're not going to show his face? I
Hmm.
guess they could do flashbacks, but I want James Earl Jones to voice him, even with the
Yes,
helmet off.
yes, I think that's a must. Or it's like
Yeah.
one of those things where because the helmet's off, you can hear like I mean, they've already kind of shown what it's like to hear Vader without the mask on, but
Hmm.
it would be fun to see a dual like voice work kind of thing where you can hear Anakin's voice and then you could hear how
Yeah.
at the same time.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I want to get into this fight between them just a little bit more.
Sure.
So I've got kind of two things. One thing that I think will totally Babu frick your mind is, and it would totally change the canon of all Star Wars that we know back, back into the 70s. This new fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin. I want Obi-Wan to lose a limb.
That would be really I mean, it would
He
make
has a
sense.
leg cut off or legs cut off. Like Darth Vader is returning the favor. And we just don't know because we don't see it in A New Hope.
Yeah, I mean, we would never
But
know. Like he's so
mhm,
covered the whole time.
yeah, he removes his arms and his legs. It's like he just gets the Luke Skywalker,
It would also
hand.
explain why Obi-Wan Kenobi is always wanting to sit, because maybe his like literal joints, mechanical
Yeah,
joints, are aching. You know, like I think that's a great idea. I would
that
not
would
be
give
surprised.
everyone a whole new perspective of A New Hope.
Yeah,
Every time you look at him, you're like, "There's little gears in there."
yeah. You're 25% robot. Uh,
Hmm.
I without a doubt think that's gonna happen. I think that's I never I'm surprised. Like I that's an amazing take.
Well, thanks. Yeah, because I think you see Count Dooku fight, and Count Dooku's probably the same age Obi Wan is in A New Hope.
Hmm.
He can flip, he can spin, he's fast, whatever. So why is it that Obi Wan is so
So slow.
slow?
Yeah.
And it could be he's part robot.
Yeah. I mean, we don't, we see Luke Skywalker's hand, and it's like,
Hmm.
after it's been cut off, it still works. You don't realize it's a hand until it gets shot by a blaster on Jabba's sail
Hmm.
barge. So, yeah, it would make sense that even if it was his hand, something that's kind of exposed, like there would be no way of knowing.
Yeah, I think that's like such an interesting, like meta little thing that Star Wars fans. I mean, obviously people would hate it because people hate everything about Star Wars, but I think that's just like a little dumb interesting thing that people could be like, "Hey, person watching this for the first time, just so you know, his arms are fake."
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
add a little something in
hey,
there.
little child, are you ready to get scared? Like,
Hey, come here.
come here.
You see how
Seven.
he's always sitting? It's because his butt was cut.
He has no butt.
He has no
He
butt.
has a mechanical butt, but
Hmm.
not mechanical poop.
Hmm. And that's not the droid you're looking for.
I'm the droid you're looking for.
I've got one other one other thing that I think would be kind of a what if.
Sure.
Do you think that if Anakin beat Obi-Wan Mustafar the first time, cut the arm, cut the legs, that Anakin would have turned to the dark side as much as he did? Or do you think Obi-Wan, his brother slash father figure, even though Qui-Gon was more the father figure, but do you think that Anakin losing was a bigger impact into him turning into Darth Vader?
Hmm.
Whereas if he actually thought that he killed Obi-Wan, he probably wouldn't become Darth Vader?
I think I think he is actually much more dangerous uh, in his Vader, get up. Like I think like
Hmm.
he turns even more, and I think that's what Palpatine knew is that his constant pain was like
His
like
driving
yeah,
force.
exactly. He harnessed it. I mean, we see
Hmm.
Maul literally harnessing his pain and his desire for revenge to climb up I don't know how many meters with his lower half severed. So I think it gives
Hmm.
him this I think it makes him the most dangerous Sith of all time because yeah
Yeah.
he's hampered but it gives him more powers than a normal
It
Sith
gives him
Lord
more
would
to
have.
complain about.
Yes,
Yeah.
it gives him it's his real power is the stand-up material that he's writing nightly about
Hmm.
his breathing apparatus. But yeah, I think
Hmm.
that what's it called? I think that it kind of seals the deal for him. He's
Hmm.
becoming the most dangerous Sith Lord of all time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to read they used to do Star Wars What If, and it was what if Leia became um she was the Jedi who fought Vader, and they had some other what ifs, but I would love for that series to come back to do a couple teases of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I like those ones too because you just see how these small moments in this long saga really have lasting effects.
Hmm. There's another screenshot that they showed where we're in kind of a Jedi temple looking thing, and there's stormtroopers everywhere. So basically, at this point, clone troopers have been phased out completely,
Hmm.
and which we're seeing in the Bad Batch. But do you expect any Tamara Morrison cameos for this?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, he's on Tatooine,
Hmm.
but it would be interesting to see how they do it. Like he, guess he's on there. He's on Tatooine for like 30 years, a long
Hmm.
time. No, he's on Tatooine for so it's this takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So
Yeah.
that's 6 plus. So yeah, I guess he could portray a younger Boba Fett, which would be interesting. I think it's possible.
Yeah. Are you expecting him to play any clone troopers like Rex or
Oh
anybody?
yeah. I guess the only one you really could see is Rex.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I think it's definitely possible. Although they might have chosen that
And
time period to really avoid the whole portraying clone troopers.
yeah, yeah, I could see that as well. Something I would really love to return, which I think was one of the best parts of the prequels, is pod racing. Even if we see Luke at a pod race watching, and you see Obi-Wan moves to far away, keeping an eye on him. I think that would be a great thing for them to pull in, just to tie everything back together.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing that I definitely think is going to be a little side thing is I think I mentioned this before is um, we're going to see some interactions with like the Hutts and the Skywalkers and like
Yep.
I think that's going to be like I think the through line is like yeah the Empire's hunting for Jedi or potential Jedi, and
Hmm.
so he's kind of protecting Luke in that way. But he's also I think there's another threat of like living around the huts. And if he was in near the
Yep.
Boot to Eve Classic, and there's Jabba the Hutt there, then it's very possible that the two interact.
Yep. I have one last thing
Sure.
that I want to talk about with this, and it's another screenshot that we saw, and it's kind of like a Hoth like base, but we see snow speeders, and obviously this is well before the rebellion,
Hmm.
and so this would be, if we are getting Hoth or a base, it would essentially be a militia that aren't really involved with, like, Luke and Akbar and all those characters. So I think we could see a possible return to Hoth as well.
I feel like yeah, I instantly thought that too. I also thought it also could be Ilum too,
Mm.
which is I think Ilum becomes the Starkiller base, but before that
Oh yeah.
they had kyber crystals there, and it was
Hmm.
like a Jedi kind of like um, a Jedi haven for like new Padawan to choose their kyber
Choose their
crystal.
crystal. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think a large part of the plot will deal with Vader retracing his steps as a Padawan, uh, so that he can find any like hiding spots.
Yeah.
Because also we need to see like maybe how Vader gets his lightsaber, all that stuff. Like
Hmm.
there's a lot of possibilities there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm so excited. This looks great.
Hmm.
I think it's exactly what you know. I think I'm glad that I read there that Kathleen Kennedy like rebooted the whole writing of the series because it wasn't up to par.
Yeah.
I'm glad that
Well, that's
they
good.
didn't rush this. They took their time, because I think it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Join us next time, where we do dive into a character that we've talked about a little bit in this episode, but it's our favorite 50-year-old Jedi, Grogu. So, Tim, what do we always say?
May the force be with you.
And also with you.
Thanks.
Why do we have those accents?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Was that Grogu?
That was
Hey, you man, though. Thanks. Thanks for taking care of me.
hey, thanks.